Hey everybody, Matt Speirs here. I'd like to share with you a quick overview of Puzzilla targets, which is one of the family history tools that we're emphasizing in the stake this year. You might remember the scripture from Jeremiah that talks about the Lord sending fishers and hunters to gather scattered Israel. Um, you could say that Ordnance Ready is more of a fisher gathering tool. It finds ancestors awaiting proxy ordinances really with every login. Puzzilla Targets, on the other hand, is more of a hunter tool. It requires you to do research, to search index records, to do a little more digging to find out about the target individual that you're researching. So I'll demonstrate now how it works. You log into puzzilla.org, spelled Puzzilla, and it will display your family tree, sourcing information from Family Search. The blue squares represent males, and the red circles represent females. So the goal here is to find unresearched descendancy lines of our ancestors by researching what's called target individuals. So what you'll want to do is select an ancestor that was born somewhere between the late 1700s and the early 1800s. So I'll go ahead and select this ancestor of mine and click Descendants. Now what this does is it changes the view. This is now called a descendancy view. That ancestor of mine is now in the center of the screen. His name's William Speirs, and his children are then displayed in the first circle, and then their children are displayed in the next circle, so on, showing 4 generations of his ancestors. So as you can see, this is a pretty full descendancy view, but you can see here that there's some of these gaps that we need to look into a little bit further. So this is where the targets button is really handy. So what targets means is it's a suggested starting point for new research. It shows persons with no child records who reached childbearing age, who were born at least 110 years ago, and who lived within a specified place and time. So you go ahead and click that button and it will display a red square. So these are the target research opportunities. So from here, what you want to do is select any individual that you're going to research and then go ahead and click View in Family Tree, and it will take you to that person's record. So I have one example here that I want to show you from another descendant of one of my ancestors, whose name's Harlow Mills. So I'm going to go ahead and select targets. And the question here really is, did all of these individuals really not have descendants? Or could it be that some of them, with more research and investigation, we might be able to identify that they did in fact have a spouse and did have children who just haven't been added to Family Search yet. So we're going to go ahead and research this individual here, William Edson Mills. It shows him born in 1879. And he passed away in 1914. So we're going to view his record, Family Search. Now, one thing you'll want to check is sources that are already attached, if there's any research help tips, and then you can also search indexed records for this individual. In this example, this person's death certificate is already attached. So let's go ahead and check that out. Brings up the death certificate. William E. Mills. Now, one thing you'll notice here is it shows his marital status as married. So this was interesting because when you go over to Family Search and you look at his record, it shows him, it shows no spouse and no children. So I knew I was onto something here. At the time he passed away, he was married. So what I did is I searched for indexed records to see if I could find more about him. And so there was a record here that was it's a newspaper obituary. And this was kind of lucky. You don't always have this on all individuals, but on this one, I happen to have an indexed obituary. So I'm going to go ahead and click that and see if this will shed any more light onto what was going on with this individual at the time he passed away. So it talks about some of the things that caused his passing away. It talks about his when he was born, um, and just general information that obituaries have, which was really interesting to learn more about him and learn about his life. This was really interesting. It said surviving him are his wife and his infant daughter, Ethel Mildred Mills. So this was great. I was able to find the name of his daughter. Unfortunately, it didn't list the name of his wife, but this was a big find, and that was great that we have a daughter that I can get added. But we need to find the name of his wife. So what I did is did a little more searching, search for more index records, and I was able to come across another newspaper clipping that's been digitized and indexed, the Mills Tucker wedding announcement. And it talks about how this marriage was solemnized between William Edson Mills and Miss Ethel Tucker Bruce. And so that was great. I was able to read through the rest of it, find out some more information about that, confirm that this was in fact the same William Mills that I was researching. It confirmed the name of his parents. So I knew I was dealing with the right individual. So this was awesome. I was able to find the name of his wife and find the name of his daughter and get them added into Family Search, or at least that's what I'm going to be doing now. So we can get them added. I won't take the time to go through that here, but basically I'll go down and click add spouse. I'll add the name of that spouse. I'll add the child. I'll see what search results come up for them and see if I can attach some more sources to have dates and things like that, dates and locations. And ultimately I'll be able to reserve the temple ordinances. So that was just one example of how this target researched opportunity was able to identify a spouse and a child. One more example I wanted to show with you was another one for an ancestor of mine named Walter A. Sanders. So he was listed as a target research opportunity. So I went ahead and searched him in Family Search. Now this was a cool example because it showed the research help over on the right listed a 1910 and 20 census record as well as a birth record. So what I did is went in and clicked those. And for Walter Sanders, it listed his wife named Margaret and a son named Walter A. So that was great. I was able to find a wife and a son. Fast forward 10 years to the next census record, same situation. Walter listed with his wife and son. So I was thinking that was probably the extent of what I was going to be able to add, which was still great. I was lucky enough to find a headstone image on Find a Grave for this individual that had some other information that was really helpful. So it shows Walter, it shows his wife Margaret. I was able to get a birth year and death year for her. It also shows Walter's mother, which is great. I was able to confirm that I'm dealing with the right individual. Now it showed that Walter had an infant sister and an infant brother, both who died in infancy and died before the 1880 census was taken. So these never showed up on that census record. It also showed that Walter and Margaret had a child who passed away in 1917, also before that 1920 census record was taken, so never showed up there. So this was a really great target research opportunity. I was able to add 5 individuals based on just this one target, his spouse, 2 siblings, and then 2 children. I was able to get them added, get the source attached, and then ultimately get temple ordinances reserved. So these are just 2 examples. This isn't what you'll probably find on your first 2 searches. So try this research method multiple times to become familiar with the process. It takes practice. So don't give up if you don't find a new individual to add to the family tree on your first attempt. Like I said, this is more of a hunter research method, but it's a good way to dive in and start to learn about how index records work, how to research those, what they look like, become more familiar with them, and just how to kind of investigate a situation in general and trying to solve a mystery here. So it can be fun. I really enjoy it, and it's really cool when you're actually able to find some individuals to add. So I hope this training's been helpful. If you get stuck, have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to your ward temple and family history consultant. You can reach out to our state temple and family history consultant, Brother Murphy. Don't hesitate to reach out to me as well. Hopefully, we have enough resources to help you in this research here. So good luck. Thanks for watching and take care.